Andreas Krieg is an assistant professor of defence studies at King's College in London. Joins me now from the British capital. Good to have you with us. I mean, is this the final battle and the final push for a solution?
Absolutely not. I mean, for the last 3 years, I've always said there is no military solution to this conflict. The Houthis are one part of the conflict, and they are a political actor that need to be reconciled with, needs to be integrated into any peace plan the UN has set so equally. So there is no real military solution. Hodeidah is a strategically important port. It is very strategically important for the people living in the northwest of that country of Yemen. It is probably just as strategically vital as Rotterdam might be for Europe or for that part of Europe. But Hodeidah is not going to bring about the turning point in this war, as the UAE and the Saudis try to make us believe. The Houthis can survive without having Hodeidah, and the road to Hodeidah, to actually capturing the port and the city, is going to be a very, very long one. And in the course of that, we were going to cause a lot more destruction than we actually create a solution to this conflict.
So how do you then analyse the fact that the president has arrived in Aden after sort of coordinating efforts from Saudi Arabia? Is he going to make a difference?
No, I mean, Hadi has been for a very long time a puppet. The fact that he has not been in the country for a year is quite telling. He has absolutely no leverage, not over the country, but not even over the southern part of the country, of Aden, where he was officially where he was hailed as being the president. The UAE have very much cut all ties between Hadi proxies and those on the ground. Those people who run Yemen in the south are actually UAE surrogates who have absolutely nothing to do with Hadi and are actually fighting actively against Hadi. So, you know, this is just part of a much wider communication strategy by the Saudi-led coalition to make the international community believe that they're actually fostering a UN plan to actually implement a central government after Hodeidah and after seizing Sana'a, which is, you know, at this time being a very much something that lies so far in the future that we don't really know when this is going to happen. So this is really just part of about shaping perception rather than having any impact on the military operation or the political process of finding a solution in Yemen.
One of the sort of impartial negotiators, David Miliband, a former British Foreign Secretary, is saying that there will be no chance on the surface for a sort of a negotiated peace if the military action continues. He would like to see mediation, but it seems that even his calls are being ignored.
Yes, but we have to be quite clear. So the international community in general, the West, has said that they don't want this operation to go forward, yet the United States have given somewhat of a yellow light to the coalition to go ahead with it. The British government has they've sent a very senior diplomat to the UN to be the new UN advisor on Yemen. He has worked very thoroughly over the last couple of months, bringing all these parties together, or trying to bring these parties together. Nonetheless, the UK government hasn't really made hasn't taken a strong position here against the Saudis in calling them back. The French, on the other hand, have even gone further in supporting the UAE with minesweepers across off the port of Hodeidah. So it seems like the international community doesn't want this to go ahead, but at the same time they're doing everything to help the coalition moving forward on Hodeidah. And I think, despite the fact that the US government has said that they will not share intelligence with the coalition, it is hard to imagine that, considering that there are special forces on the ground in Yemen, US special forces, that the US will not be sharing intelligence. So in the end of the day, there is what they do strategically on the open, and this is and operationally, they're actually helping the coalition. So there is no real effort to bringing the parties together. And at the same time, obviously, the Iranians are not doing much to put leverage on the Houthis. So in the end of the day, there is this. The UN is somewhat a theater of where we are trying to come to a conclusion, while operationally, militarily, both sides are still investing into war. So this is not going to happen, obviously.
Well, we'll see what happens, certainly, in the coming days. For the moment, Andreas Krieg there in London. Thanks for joining us.